Live stream is launching. All right, there we go. All right, good evening, everybody. It's December 15th at 7:30, and I'm going to call the Executive Committee meeting of the Libertarian Party of Florida to order. First order of business would be the roll call. Ms. Skansky?
Right. Yeah. 1 second. So call to order at
7:30
7:30 on the dot. Holy crap.
on
I
the
think
dot.
that's like the first time this has ever happened, at least since I've been secretary. I don't know, Ed, do you have any recollection of starting on the dot?
I don't believe we ever have, no. But we never had a meeting start 30 minutes prior either.
Yeah. All right. Matt.
Here.
Ed, who I also heard.
Present.
I'm here. Joe Sokol.
Here.
We have at-large one is vacant. Scott Nicholson.
Here.
Lee Fortzer.
I'm here.
Joe Hanoush.
Here.
Joey Ferguson. Seems like Joey might be absent. If anybody can reach out to him, maybe Vincent, if you can reach out to him, please do so. I didn't get any message from him. Rob, Vincent.
Yeah, I'm here.
Leon.
Here.
DL.
Present.
And Andrew, I heard you. Eric.
Here.
Beth.
Here.
David Moscrip.
Here.
Eric Montgomery, I heard you earlier.
Here.
Region 10 is technically Chris will be in that position until we get to the consent agenda, but he has stepped down. James has an excused absence. John Paff.
Here.
And Deanna also has an excused absence. And Region 14, also same thing. That is a vacant position. So we have 1 absent, 2 excused, 2 vacant. So what is that? 16? 16 out of 19.
16 out of 19, and so a majority is 9. All right. Next item on the agenda is invited guests. None here. Public comment, up to 10 minutes. If you are not on the EC or are not a committee chair, this is now your time to ask questions, comments, concerns about the party. We have 10 minutes. That'll take us to 7:43. I'm not seeing any hands in the gallery. Going once. Twice. All right. Next item on the agenda then will be the approval of the agenda. Is there a motion to approve the agenda?
I'll motion to approve it.
Motioned by Ms. Skansky. Is there a second?
Second, Apple.
I saw Rob and heard Ed, so I'm going to give that one to Ed. Motion has
Mr.
been.
Chair,
Yes, ma'am.
I would like to motion to amend the agenda to strike the LNC report, officers reports, committee reports, and region reports that are not already posted in bulletin board.
All right. Ms. Johnson has motioned to amend the report to exclude the LNC report, officers, region reps, committee chairs that are not currently in bulletin board. Do we have a list of those? I'll pull it up real quick. Is there a second?
Half seconds.
John Paff has seconded. Madam Secretary. It looks like the only ones who are not in there are actually not on the meeting, which would be Region 10 and fundraising. All right. Any discussion? If not, Is there anyone opposed?
Are we not including or including the LNC report in this motion?
That was struck per the motion. It would be struck per the motion.
Yeah, I heard that one.
I'd kind of like to hear an LNC report if anybody's available.
I mean, I was at the LNC national meeting, Matt. I don't have a problem giving somewhat of a synopsis.
Okay, so to make this easier on everybody, let's just take that out of that amendment.
Will do.
All right, in that case, all those in favor, say aye.
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 Those opposed? Motion carries. The amendment carries. Madam Secretary, I don't know if you saw it or not. Joey Ferguson is here.
Oh, great. Thank you.
Yep. All right, so now we have an amended agenda and we're back on the main motion to approve the agenda as amended. All those in favor say aye.
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 And those opposed? Motion carries. We have an agenda. Next item on the agenda would be the approval of the LPF Executive Committee meeting for it says September, but I'm assuming we're talking about November last month.
Yeah.
Is there a motion to approve the minutes?
I so move.
Heard Rob Vinson move. Is there a second?
Second Appler.
I think that was Lee was the first bite at that one, I think. All right. Motion has been seconded. All those in favor of approving the minutes, say aye.
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 Those opposed? Oh, got that one. Those opposed? Minutes are approved. Mr. Vinson, the floor is yours for the LNC report, sir.
Yeah, Ed, since Ed wanted to hear, Ed, do you have any questions just off the top?
No, I tried watching the meeting, but I got bored after the first hour.
Me too, man.
So no particular questions.
Okay, so if anyone wants to know about the Karen Ann Harlow's situation, you can talk to me. Outside the meeting, basically, she was there. Everything was peaceful. There was like security there to make sure nothing was going crazy, and the meeting went smooth. It was the fastest LNC meeting that's ever been ran. Even people like Redpath, who've been on the meeting for like decades, he was pleased with how smooth the meeting ran. We passed two budgets, one in 2024 and one in 2025. So it was a big meeting too. It's not like it was a small meeting and just keep it moving. But I think overall, good job from the LNC. If you want to talk to me about it later, just feel free to message me on Discord or email me in the Region 3 email.
Come to our meeting. You can talk to us about it.
Oh yeah, I'll have a beer with you, Ed.
Cool.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Vinson. Anybody have any other questions for Mr. Vinson? Thank you, sir. Moving right along, reports have been struck. That brings us to item 11 on the agenda, the chairman's consent agenda, which includes the appointment removal of committee members. The first one would be for us to accept the resignation of Mr. Josh Hlavka as chair and acknowledge myself as having ascended to chair effective November 17th.
I'll move that.
Moved by Mr. Hanush.
Second.
There's second.
I'll second. I'll second.
I heard two seconds there.
I thought this was the consent agenda,
It is.
handled in its entirety.
Oh, okay. Sorry about that. Thank you. Thank you for catching that, Ed. Okay, so item B on that would be also to acknowledge the appointment of Mr. Ed Appler as the interim vice chair, which I appointed effective November 18th, then accept the resignations of Chris Allen as Region 10 representative, Hector Ruse as Region 14 representative, and the fundraising committee. Add David Moskrip, Lisa Gansky, and Scott Nicholson to the fundraising committee. Add Neil Ball to the membership committee. That is the chair's consent agenda as a whole. I would like to add to that Scott Nicholson as the chair of the fundraising committee. I think that was left out of there.
Oh, that's correct.
So there we go. So that's handle that as a whole.
Do you need to add convention or was that last month? I can't remember.
That was last month.
Okay, thank you.
Is there a mover?
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Okay, cool. Been moved by Joe, and I heard 2 seconds earlier. Is it the same second? this
I
time?
heard
Second again.
Moss script seconded, but I can do Vincent. That's fine.
Moved and seconded. Those in favor say aye.
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 And
Aye.
those opposed? Motion carries. New business. Election of a vice chair. Ed has been gracious enough and has been appointed as the interim vice chair. And I see a couple of hands raised there. Who was first? It looks like Joe, maybe?
Yeah, I'd like to move that to appoint Ed Appler as the vice chair.
Ed has been nominated for the vice chair until convention, at which point I believe since he was appointed, it would be up for election again anyway. Ed, do you accept the nomination?
I accept.
Is there another nomination just in case? All right. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
And aye. And those opposed? Congratulations, Mr. Appler. You are still the vice chair. Which brings
Thank
us to item B on new business. Now that he has accepted that position, the vacant DAL1 position. Is there a nomination for that one? I see Joe Hanush has a hand raised again.
Yeah, I nominate David Moscript.
I also was going to nominate David Moscript for the record. So thank you for that. David, Mr. Moscript, do you accept the nomination?
I do, under the condition that we drop the T from the end of my name.
Right, my bad.
It's David Moscript. Otherwise, yes, I accept it. Thank you, guys.
All right. Anybody else have any other nominations for that one? In that case, all those in favor say aye.
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 And any opposed, say nay. Congratulations, Mr. Moscript. Without the T, you are the new Director at Large 1.
Yes, thank you guys so much.
I see Mr. Hanush has his hand up again, so I'm assuming he has a nomination for Region 10.
Yes, I'd like to nominate Jim Leggett.
Okay, and I can confirm that Jim, while not here in the meeting, has accepted the nomination prior to.
Can you spell his last name for me, please?
Legget.
One T?
I'm sorry?
Two T's.
It's 2 T's. It's 2 T's, yeah.
2 T's. See, I gave the T to David and then took it from Jim.
Can you put your hand down, Joe, so that I can nominate somebody?
Shit, sorry.
for Region 14, not for
I'm working
Region
on that.
10.
There we go.
Thanks. Yeah.
I have it under good authority that you're both going to nominate the same person for 14 for the record.
No,
no?
He said that I could do it. So.
Okay, gotcha. All right, so there we go. We're still on Region 10. Any other nominees for Region 10? All right, all those in favor? Oh, I see Lee Courtser with a hand up.
Yeah, I had a question. Did anyone validate Mr. Leggett has signed the NAP and is a member?
Yeah, he's been a member since 2012.
Okay, thank you. I just want to know because we've had problems in the past.
And as I understand it, he's also very heavily involved in his county affiliate as well.
That's fine. Thank you.
Thanks for asking, Lee. I appreciate
Thank you.
it.
Yep. Good catch, Lee, just to be safe, given past events. All right. Those in favor say aye.
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 Aye. And those opposed? Motion carries. We have a new Region 10 representative. Ms. Skansky.
Yeah, I'd like to nominate Jessica Boudreau for Region 14.
Ms. Boudreau, I see that you are on the call. Do you accept the nomination?
Hi, yes, I do. Thank you.
Awesome. And is there any other nominations for Region 14, just in case? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Welcome to the executive committee. Those of you new, I will have the communications committee set up your email and bulletin board access as soon as possible. E would be the election of a deputy treasurer. I'm going to stress that this is something that we should probably find someone for sooner rather than later, because our current treasurer will no longer be with us after convention. So we would like to have someone who is at least already up to speed and trained and things of that nature. So if you know anybody, feel free to let them know, hey, I would like to nominate you, be at the next meeting. Ms. Kansky, I see your hand up.
Yeah, I was just gonna suggest if any of you are at local meetings where you guys have a stellar treasurer, it would be super awesome if you kind of put it in their head that they could train with Joe, and it should be really low key, but a good learning experience, and then they could very likely ascend to treasurer after convention. So there's a couple of people I've been thinking about. I'll probably send some messages. We had one person respond, but she hadn't accepted the NAP, so she was not eligible, and then she kind of ghosted me. But I'll be sending another message out, try to help recruit. So if you guys can think of anyone, please get them to us.
Thank you, Ms. Kansky. Mr. Sokol.
Yes, just to reiterate that if no treasurer is chosen, I will be handing over all the stuff to whoever is chair at the time. So I'm serious, I'm not taking it one day longer. Number two, if you get somebody that's really sharp, maybe they could become treasurer even before the convention.
Thank you, Mr. Sokol. Mr. Hanush.
I just want to say that I will not let the LPF not have a treasurer. Yeah, if worst comes to worst and there's no one else that could do it, I'm willing to do it. I just want to let people know that it's going to be the minimum stuff, like basically adhere to the legalities of it. And that's about it. I just want to put that out there.
Thank you, Joe. Joe is currently the treasurer for the Volusia affiliate, for the record.
Okay.
Mr. Appler.
I'd just like to thank Joe for the time he has put in, and he saved us from a pretty ugly situation. And thanks for your time, Joe.
Thank you.
I'll second that. Thank you, Joe.
Thanks.
Thanks, Joe. Awesome. Okay, so that brings us to item F under new business, motion 846. Mover is Lisa Gansky on behalf of the Communications Committee. Have at it, Ms. Gansky.
Yeah, one sec here.
Would you like for me to read it? I've got it here in front of me.
Oh no, I have it in front of me.
Oh,
So
okay.
yeah, so I just wanted to transition the X premium payments over to LPF. Reason being, I upped my donation to $10 a month, and it more than covers those payments, which are, I believe it's $8 a month. So I think it's actually a little less annually. So yeah, I just wanted to get it so that LPF is paying for it, so that we don't ever lose access that way.
Sounds good. And because it was moved out of committee, it does not require a second for the record. So I will open up discussion on this motion if there is any. Oh, Mr. Moskrip, I saw your hand and then it went away.
No, I had a separate question, but so yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Related or not related?
No, it was related to filling the Region 8 position since I'm
that is correct.
That'll be next month, right?
No, it's not. Your alternate automatically ascends.
Oh,
okay,
that's
so
right.
I just want to make sure. So Eric is on the call. So Eric is the new Region 8 rep. I just wanted to make sure we're clear on.
Doesn't it go on the consent agenda for next month? Or
there's an alt, they automatically ascended. That's what we did with DL and Rachel, remember?
yes, but I remember we put it on the consent agenda as just like accepting it as a formality.
I'm good with that. If you want to do that next month, we can put it on the consent
I
agenda
can add
to
it to
accept it.
this month.
You can also add it to the agenda this month if you would like to.
I'd like to make a motion to make Eric Cordova the Region 8 rep.
Second.
Would that not require a motion to suspend the rules since we already have an agenda?
Okay,
Yeah,
what
guys,
I-
let-
I would like
Guys,
to.
he just automatically ascends.
That's what I
That's-
thought.
That's how it goes.
Okay,
Yeah.
so Eric is now, just to make sure, Eric Cordova is now the Region 8 rep, just so that we're all on the same page.
Correct.
Awesome. All right.
100.
Congratulations, Eric.
That was my understanding. I mean, it was the same thing that happened from vice chair to chair, DL from alt to Region 5. So welcome to the EC, Mr. Cordova. So back to motion number 846. Is there any discussion on that motion? It seems pretty simple. And for those who may not know, Lisa has been paying that out of her own pocket for 2 years, and that's kind of where this comes from. It's something we should have been paying for anyway. If anybody needs to know the benefits as to why the premium is beneficial to the LPF, then the communications committee can speak to that if needed.
I'll just say a couple of things. A question real quick, though. Are we monetizing that at all? So is the LPF making any money?
Not yet.
Okay. But thank you, Lisa, for making the donations previous. Thank you.
Thanks.
I believe one of our local affiliates actually is monetizing theirs, though. But that's neither here nor there. All right, in that case, I'm going to call the vote. All those in favor say aye.
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 Those opposed? Motion carries. LPF will take over payments on that. That moves us to number 13, old unfinished business. That situation is taken care of. I do not believe we need to go to executive session for that. Mr. Sokol, thoughts?
One of the situations was taken care of.
The other is not. And I am reaching out to them myself. I do not believe it requires executive session at this time unless I don't hear anything back, but I will. Lisa, you got your hand up?
Yeah, I just had a question. So Joe, have we've been paid in full for the $5,000? Is that correct?
Yes.
So I'm gonna just point out to the EC, I don't think we should do it this time, but what I'd love to see is if we next month can decide if we want to pursue any action. I know that we were kind of split, but the point being, like, I'm of the personal opinion that they are going to do this to other people. So I'll just leave it at that. I don't want to drag it out anymore right now.
Thank you. Mr. Sokol.
So I'm going to make a couple comments on that. One, when this person resigned, she informed us that she had this money.
Mhm.
It would have taken us months to find that. She then gave us a payment plan, and she kept that. I think now, I don't know if anybody knows, I've been a landlord for 30 years. So I know about when people are going to pay, when they're not. I think this other situation is going to be a lot more uglier.
Yeah, I think so.
Because when you're trying to track somebody down and you can't find them, that's a bad sign right there. So I want to reiterate, I think it'd be for one, we don't have the money for attorneys to go after the prior treasurer. All right, I think it's a waste of money. And what would we go after her for? She repaid us.
Correct.
No, I think I should clarify. I'm of the personal opinion we should tell, the authorities that it happened, that she commit fraud, that she took our money. She paid us back, sure. But I don't necessarily think we should sue her or anything, but somebody should know that it happened.
There's nothing we can sue her for. She made us whole.
Strongly recommend against us talking about this, not in executive session.
Agreed.
All right.
Agreed. Moving on. Mr. Vinson. Okay.
That's
Was that
that's all.
relate?
That's all I was
Okay.
gonna say, actually.
Thank
But
you, thank you,
I
sir.
think, yeah, I think anything referred back to the committee, me and Joe are on,
Yeah.
to deal with the situation.
Yeah, I'm gonna regarding the second nature that we're not going to talk about at this meeting, I will reach out directly, and if no response is made, I will personally move for executive session next meeting. So that puts an end to that. That puts us on item number 14. The next executive committee meeting will be held January 19th via Zoom at 7:30 p.m. Item number 15, announcements. Anybody have any announcements? Mr. Kortzer.
Yes, Nation Builder. We had signed an 18-month agreement. I think
Yes,
it's up for a new contract in the spring. Has any negotiations begun? How much more is it
First,
going to cost us?
that is on my agenda as a communications committee after the first of the year because, hold on one second, I'll tell you the exact date. Where are you? September of 2023. So we actually have until after convention before we even
18
have.
months or 24 months?
It was an 18-month agreement.
That brings us September
Oh,
through
you're right.
August 12th.
Yeah, my math is not mathing. So that brings us September 24th, October, November, December, January, March.
Right, which is before the
Correct.
convention.
That's correct.
It's a large commitment of cash comparatively to what we have in balances, plus the convention. I know that you guys are going to do the best you can, but can we get this put on for a monthly update to the EC as to the progress and expectations as we
Or
move forward?
with
Of
regards
course,
to,
to the costs.
okay. Yeah, our next meeting, I will get with Blake and start discussing the extension or non-extension or whatever that will be, which
Okay.
is first week, second week of January.
Yeah, what I'm trying to avoid is hitting February, March,
Sure.
and then we're hit the wall. And by the way, guys, this is how much it is, and everyone freaks.
Yep, you got it.
Thank
Understandable.
you.
I saw Miss Johnson's hand up next, I think. Then Joe, and then Rob, and then Lisa.
Yes, thank you. I just want to, on behalf of convention committee, spread the theme contest. If you could please disperse throughout your regions and your local affiliates. We're going to run the contest through January 4th until midnight, with the winner to be announced at the general meeting on January 5th. So activity's been a little bit quiet in there. So let's see if we can get some creativity going and get a good theme for next year's convention.
Thank you, Ms. Johnson. Mr. Sokol.
Since somebody else brought up Nation Builder, and via email, I've discussed this with you, the vice chair and the secretary. I'm a numbers guy. I don't know exactly what it does. I don't think we can afford it. We're paying $1,180 a month. I'm not sure what we got. Maybe I'm just naive about what Nation Builder is all about. But from a treasurer standpoint, no advantage to the treasurer. So I can get addresses and occupations with donor box. We can, mail through MailChimp. I don't know what else it does, but I think part of the discussion should be whether we even actually should be
Mr.
spending.
Sokol, I wouldn't consider this to be necessarily an announcement. I would think this needs to be agendized.
Okay.
But for the record, it's more than just MailChimp and a CRM. It's a website for us. It's a website for our convention. It's a website for all of our affiliates and all of our candidates, which also provides them with the same CRM, financing, donors, email blasts, text message blasts, all of the things that we would externally be paying separately. Just for the record. But I mean, if it's something you want to talk about as a treasurer, please, by all means, have Ms. Gansky put it on the executive committee for next month, if you don't mind. Mr. Vincent.
Yeah, I mean, maybe this might be more of a agendized ask anyway, but Beth, I want to see what the sponsorship levels are for anyone who's sponsoring the convention. I can't see those on the website. I got a lot of people asking me about, if I become a sponsor, what kind of levels, what kind of perks do I get at the convention? So can you speak to that, or, put it on the website or send me something?
Yeah, certainly I can. I'm actually meeting with fundraising committee tonight to kind of hammer out some of those details. And I'll be meeting with the convention committee on Tuesday to also finalize those. And they should be on the website by end of week.
All right, thank you. And do we have a number on how many vendors have already purchased tables?
None yet.
None yet? Okay.
Vendors are very limited because there will only be room for 10 tables outside of the hall. So that's one of the delays. We've been working to see how we could add value for more vendors to promote their products
Yeah,
in
they're
sort
gonna
of
need,
creative
yeah,
ways.
yeah. Okay, thank you.
Sure.
Ms. Skansky?
Yeah, I just wanted to mention that we've had a couple unofficial fundraising meetings since our previous chair resigned. And in the meantime, I have put together links, and those of you who are new to the EC, I will be sending you new links that you can send these out on your social media and your emails, and it will track donations back to you. So one of the big things that we'd like to do is, if you're able, it would be awesome if you could start up a $5 a month donation. That's where I started at. And I just bumped mine up to 10. I'm kind of not in a great situation financially right now, but if you're in that kind of a situation, you now have a fundraising link. So even if you can't donate yourself, you can ask your friends or family or whoever. You can put it out on your social media. And I'll just kind of just drop this. I know there's a lot of people who are on the call who are not part of the EC. Should you want to help us fundraise, reach out to me at secretary@lpf.org and I can get you guys a link as well. Oh, and just for those in the fundraising committee, we'll drop and join on the other link after this is done.
Thank you, Ms. Skansky. Any other announcements? All right, and now for everybody's favorite part of the agenda, the chair would entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll move that adjournment.
Mr. Hanush moves to adjourn. Is there a second?
I'll
Second,
second.
Adler.
All those in favor say aye.
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 Aye. Those opposed say nay.
Sure.
We are adjourned at 8:03 p.m. And recording is stopped.